Ben Shephard has long been one of Britain's most familiar and trusted television faces. Warm, energetic, and endlessly reassuring, he has a way of making every conversation feel easy, even when the subject is serious. For years, audiences have relied on that steady presence, rarely imagining the weight that might exist beyond the smile. That's why Annie's reaction struck so deeply. She wasn't performing. She wasn't exaggerating. She was simply overwhelmed. As she tried to speak, her composure faltered. Words came slowly, carefully, as though each one required courage to release. Her hands shook slightly, her eyes glistened, and then, inevitably, the tears fell. It was the kind of emotion that doesn't ask for permission, the kind that arrives when concern has grown too heavy to carry alone. Viewers watching at home immediately sensed that this wasn't just another emotional television moment. It was personal, real, and deeply unsettling. Annie spoke of worry, not in dramatic terms, but in the quiet language of someone who cares deeply. She talked about uncertainty, about how even strong people can face moments that test them. She didn't offer details. She didn't need to. The emotion said everything. The camera lingered respectfully, capturing the rawness without intruding. There was no rush to move on, no attempt to lighten the mood. Instead, the silence was allowed to breathe, and in that silence, millions of viewers felt the same ache. Social media reacted almost instantly. "So painful to watch," one viewer wrote. "I feel sick with worry for them," said another. "This hit me harder than I expected," admitted a longtime fan. What made the moment especially powerful was the contrast. Ben Shephard, the man so often associated with positivity and strength, was suddenly at the center of concern, even without appearing on screen. Through Annie's tears, viewers were reminded that even the most familiar figures can face uncertain chapters. For many, it brought back memories of their own experiences, watching someone they love struggle, feeling helpless, trying to stay strong while fear quietly builds. Annie's vulnerability opened a door to shared emotion, connecting strangers through a feeling everyone understands. As the segment continued, Annie tried to regain control. She wiped her eyes, took a deep breath, and apologized, though no apology was needed. Her honesty had already spoken volumes. The way she composed herself, despite the visible pain, only deepened the respect viewers felt. Those close to the production later described the atmosphere as emotionally charged. Even seasoned professionals behind the cameras were reportedly affected. It wasn't just about what was said, it was about what was felt. Fans began to look back on recent appearances by Ben Shephard, noticing moments that now felt different, pauses that seemed longer, smiles that appeared more thoughtful. Whether imagined or real, the concern grew, fueled by affection rather than speculation. Importantly, viewers didn't demand answers. Instead, messages of support flooded in. "Sending strength," one fan wrote. "Whatever you're going through, we're with you," said another. "Ben has given us so much. Now it's our turn to give love back," read a widely shared comment. The response revealed something powerful. Audiences weren't hungry for details. They were moved by humanity. Annie's tears reminded people that behind every public figure is a private life, one filled with hope, fear, and moments that don't fit neatly into headlines. Her willingness to be open, even briefly, created a space where empathy took the lead. For Ben Shephard's fans, the worry is real, but so is the admiration. His career has been built on kindness, consistency, and connection. Seeing that connection reflected back through Annie's tears felt like a full-circle moment, proof that the bond between viewers and presenter goes both ways. As the broadcast ended, the emotional weight lingered. People didn't immediately move on. They sat quietly, processing what they had seen. Some reached for their phones to message loved ones. Others simply stared at the screen, lost in thought. Television rarely slows us down anymore, but this moment did. It reminded viewers that life doesn't always follow a script, that concern doesn't need details to be deeply felt, and that vulnerability, when shared honestly, can unite millions. Annie's tears were not a sign of weakness, they were a reflection of care, love, and fear all tangled together, and that's why it was so painful to watch, because it was real. As fans continue to hope for the best and send their support, one thing is clear. This moment changed the way many see Ben Shephard, not just as a presenter, but as a person surrounded by people who care deeply. And sometimes that shared concern is the most powerful story of all.